When you are getting ready to pick or create your very first campaign running in Meta ads, or you're ready to promote a new product, you're getting started on creating a whole new campaign for a whole new offer, so to say, which one do you choose? With Meta ads, you do have 6 different types of campaign objectives you can choose when you're trying to create a starting campaign for your product. It is extremely important. This is the part that sets up the success or failure of your campaign. If you choose the wrong objective, your results are not going to be what you're looking for. Each one of these objectives will signify how Facebook or Meta sends those ads to a very specific audience. AI plays a lot into the capabilities of Meta ads in your targeting options now. But the big thing with this is if I choose a sales campaign, I am going to have my ads delivered to people in the feed, in the algorithm that are most likely to purchase my product. This is the number one campaign we set out for e-commerce businesses with an Ashford strategy. It's their top performing campaigns, top of funnel, it's bottom of funnel, it's the full everything. With this campaign, you can have your prospecting audience, you can have your targeting audience, and we'll get into that in a little bit too. You can have it go directly to your website, you can have it go from your catalog that's connected to, let's say, your Shopify store or your WooCommerce store. There's so many capabilities within this sales campaign, but the biggest thing is you are serving this ads to people more likely to purchase your product based off their behavior on the platform, on Facebook, on Instagram. The other one that could be something that might be of interest if you have an app, let's say, and you're trying to get people to install and buy subscriptions off your app. There's a whole campaign for that, for campaign or app installations and then continuing to use it. And then those events that are set up for tracking in there. The other one I see people do when they initially set up a campaign is a traffic campaign or an awareness campaign, which is hit for likes or landing page views, which landing page views in Meta terms is your website visits, people who visit your website. These two are going to send people to who are different from those who are going to be purchased. So what you're actually unintentionally doing is getting a lot of window shoppers. People who will like your ad may go to your website, but they're not going to add to cart. They're not going to view your products. They're not going to purchase and continue to check out. If your objective is sales, pick the sales campaign. If you're looking to get revenue off of it, and that is the goal of the campaign itself, that is the campaign you must pick. If your goal is to have a brand awareness campaign and to build your Facebook following or your Instagram following and build your engagement from organic posts that you do, then an awareness campaign is what you're looking for. If you're just trying to get people to view an event that you have coming up and you're not looking for sales per se, but just a build awareness of, let's say you have a pop-up coming up for your store, traffic might be, or even an event. If you have an event going on and you've posted it on your Facebook page, for example, you can boost that through an event engagement campaign objective. So this section, though it seems there's only 6 options to choose from, it will make or break whether or not your campaign is successful based off the objective you're wanting to achieve. On a new sales campaign, a couple of setup things and the right way to set it up by your funnel. I'm going to set this up as if I'm setting up a very broad targeting. Let's say you're a business that sells sippy cups for babies. I have a very broad target audience, not just everyone in the United States, because that's a huge audience. I'm not looking for 18-year-olds or younger or people who do not have kids. I'm looking for parents of a specific age range that are going to be using sippy cups. So my targeting for that is going to be set up based off of, you can use lookalike audiences, you can use custom audiences based off your website activity, customer lists, past purchases, and then you can use just interest audiences. And what I'm going to show you is a very broad interest audience. Your budget strategy is where you can set it up to, let's say I want to spend $100 a day and I'm only going to run one audience, which is one ad set. That's where you would use your campaign budget. If you're going to potentially be running 2 or more ad sets or audiences, so let's say I want to try a parent broad audience, and then I also want to try, let's just do parent broad audience. And let's duplicate this, and I can show you how I can run a lookalike past purchases audience. And you can see on this side here where I have it all funneled out as far as how the campaign setup goes. This one campaign is going to host 2 different types of targeting audiences for, let's say, my one ad. And my test that I'm trying to decide on, if I'm setting it up this way, is which of these 2 audiences is going to convert better for my ad. Is it the broad audience or is it a lookalike? Now, a lookalike, for those who are not aware, is a custom audience that is based off of where I can create and include these custom audiences. And custom audience, let me hover over this, is to reach people who have already interacted with your business, or a lookalike is to reach new people similar to those who already exist, like your customers. So if I have a customer list, I can pull from Shopify the people who have purchased my product over the last 180 days. And that list consists of a number over 300. You do have to have at least 300 people on your list to create a lookalike audience from it. And I upload this, and it gives me the option to create a variety of different lookalike audiences from 1%, which is those who are closest matched to my initial audience, all the way up to 10%, which is basically a broad audience based off of the customers that I have. I always operate off of a 1 to 3%, which isn't extremely tight, but gives it a little bit of leeway to allow the algorithm to find people that closely match my product. If I do anything above 7%, I might as well just run the parent broad audience at this point. With the parent broad, you go to the exact same place I just went to where it says suggest an audience. Now, if you've been in Ads Manager before, you will notice that this has changed. Myself, in my experience, I've been doing this for over 7 years, and it used to not say suggest an audience. Facebook's AI is going to use what you've put as this is what I'm looking to target, and then potentially reach people beyond it when it's likely to improve your performance and get better results for you. That's looking at your cost per lead, cost per purchase, your ROAS, and those on-platform metrics to get you the best results. And then they will continue to give suggestions on recommendations on how to improve it as it learns as well. But my detailed targeting here is where I can add in some interests that I want to do. Now, for a parent broad, it might simply be parents. Now, I was given the example of my product is sippy cups. I'm not going to be targeting people with adult children. I'm not even going to be targeting people who have 6 to 8-year-olds. My limit may be 5. So I can target anyone from up to 12 to 1 to 2, and then my max being 3 to 5. Those are the kids, speaking from my own experience, who typically use a sippy cup. Once they hit over 6 to 8, they're using plastic cups and without lids, and they're growing up. That's a very broad audience, but I am limiting it to parents. I can even add even more interests that are specific to parents. So Graco or Huggies or Pampers, like sippy cups, I believe is a targeting option as well. So like for my example, there's more that I could add, but for a very broad parent audience, because I don't want to limit it too much at the beginning. If this is your first time running some type of interest audience, start broad and then narrow it down. So start with just parents. And then as that progresses, then look at adding in more interests like Graco, Huggies, those types of interests that are specific to parents, or in whatever your target persona is, what those people would be interested in. That's where you would then look to limit it with more and more interest targeting. And even you can define further. So if I do parents who are interested in sippy cups or et cetera, et cetera. How to set this up though for your best. When you get into the ad itself, this is where you add in your creative, your copy, what you're wanting it to say, and you add an image or a video. You have different sizes that you can choose. So we'll have a whole nother video to explain how to format this ad to fit the best. But this is where you would come in, you add in all your creative and be able to also connect your catalog. If you're looking to showcase your catalog itself and products, images from your catalog, and have it be customized to whatever products they may have viewed on your site and catalog itself, you would just turn this on here. This is going to connect your product catalog from your Shopify that's connected. If there's any warnings, please do make sure that you view them. So like for this example, an issue came up for me that I need to look at it resolving. I would go in and do that prior to me launching said ad to ensure that this runs efficiently. When you get to the creative itself, because I've chosen my catalog and I choose specific set, like product set, I then can come in here and use a manual destination, or I can have it be, I want them to go to the website if they're most likely going to convert on the website, or they can stay in the app, which is Facebook or Instagram shops, and they can search the products and then check out off of my website server from there. I can add in dynamic headlines so that it features the product name, and I can even add in some selected media to showcase as well to help create some more engagement. There's so many different levers you can pull now in order to make this the best performing ad for your audience. Your primary text, that's your main copy. This is where you add in your main selling points, what you're trying to offer to them. You're speaking directly to the customer's pain points in order to sell your product. In this example, it shows it as a carousel. So I would have, let's say I can make this a slideshow. I could do single image. I can add a frame around the image as well. And I don't have to use the headline, like the product name for the headline. However, that is my suggestion if you're running it through the catalog itself, because if I did, let's say, headline example, just to show you, on this preview here, it's going to have the same headline for every single card, which is where that causes problems. But if you just use this plus sign here and you can choose the name, and let's say I wanted to also include the price as well, I could even add like a line to separate the two of them out. Then that way, test different various ways of what's going to perform the best. Is these headlines the best? Is it going to be, if I chose a single image over the carousel, which ones of those would choose the best? This is where you can run up to 2 to 3 ads at a time, whichever one becomes the winning creative, which Facebook's algorithm will assist you in that, because it will put majority of the spend towards what it's deeming as the best performing creative for your audience. Then that's the one I end up running with. There's collections as well, which again, we could have a whole other video of how to run a collections ad. The main thing with this though is if I were to set this up as a traffic campaign to the site, I'm going to get a lot of views on the site, but I'm not going to get a lot of purchases. So when you're setting up this campaign, no matter whether you set it up as a catalog ad or you manage the creative, so you run it as a single image, carousel, a video, or a collections ad, whatever that setup may be, your objective is the first priority to choose. Once you have that established with your goal of what you're looking to obtain from your ad spend, as long as you set that up so it matches, you should see the success that you're looking for, or at least point you in the direction of where you need to optimize your campaign correctly.